talking with somebody right now on Discord. I'm actually doing like a collab with someone else right now, so
Oh, that's nice.
As far as content creation for Fire Emblem Heroes, sometimes they do make it really challenging because unless you're one of the people who is going to make a Grand Hero Battle or Legendary Hero Battle video, and have it out like hours after it's released, on any given day, there could be absolutely nothing new to talk about.
There's like two sort of types of Fire Emblem Heroes sort of content creation. Like, you've got people telling the more basic stuff. You've got, like, I don't know, Sages who talks about
everything immediately.
just like cast it out as soon as physically possible. Then you've got people who are just doing things for fun and having a little fun with it, like me or Embor.
There's a lot of great entertainment value in videos like yours and Embor's. I watch both of you guys frequently, and yeah, it's it is just fun content. I don't necessarily go there to be like, okay, I'm going to finally beat that chain challenge that's been giving me difficulty, or I haven't figured out how to build well, here, I guess I'll poke fun here. I don't want to figure out how to build Claire, but yeah, there's something like watching one of your videos, it almost doesn't matter what topic it is. It has so much entertainment value, and it's about Fire Emblem Heroes, and that's almost the most foolproof way to have something to say right now about Fire Emblem, it seems like.
Like, actually, a lot of if you look at a lot of my older content, it was a lot different. Like, I used to try like live commentary things, or sort of like Smash montages, sort of in the Alpharad sort of style, but I wasn't really happy with how that kind of stuff was made, so I sort of wanted to have like a sort of Ouija the God sort of approach to video content creation, where I have like a little bit of a comedic twist, so I can make a script, I can write out what I want to write out, and in the end I can make something that I'm happy with.
That is incredible. I like it. You can tell that you're having fun whenever you make your videos.
There's actually a lot of YouTubers who have decided to change up the formula because they're getting bored with it. Like, as I said before, both Alpha and Ouija, who did content in one certain way for a long time, they both quit their main series. Like, Alpha quit his How to Play 101, Ouija quit his How To such and such because he just wanted to talk about whatever. And in my sort of case, like, when I started out, I sort of enjoyed it, but it's sitting there with an uncomfortable headset for like a half hour talking on and on with nothing creative to say, it wasn't fun, so I wanted to try something out, so I tried making effectively using Alphonse, effectively using Reinhardt, and the series just sort of took off, and I enjoyed that editing style, so I said, you know what? I'm not going to quit YouTube. I'm going to keep this up because I like doing this. And lo and behold, here I am right now.
Yeah, no, I like that series a lot. And as I mentioned before, like, it shows that, you have that energy. Recently, I sort of got burnt out on my channel making my own build videos that I've been doing. I got to the point where I was just like, I just did just barely enough looking into different heroes to see what I was going to do with them. And for some reason, I just had like an aversion to doing it, and I had all these other videos sitting there, and so in a way you're a lot smarter than I am because I was sitting here going, no, there's a banner coming out tomorrow, I gotta stay up till, in my case on the East Coast, 3 a.m. so that I can figure out what to do with these heroes because I gotta have that video out tomorrow morning, and it was stupid to put it bluntly.
Plus, a lot of people are very like, now we're in like a kind of period of like heroes where people are kind of getting bored of the same old meta builds and are sort of branching out and making all sorts of new interesting things. Like 2 months ago, Strat actually put out a video like talking about how Fire Emblem was sort of getting boring, how he'd been trying like theme teams and stuff like that. And then like a month later, he's got this new series called Impractical Tactics where he's got a 42 speed Julia.
Yes.
Like, I've built up a lot of units that people say are like bad or like whatever. Like, my S support is a Claire. I built a Clive. My latest video was about Canos. Like, I don't care about meta or tiers or whatever. I'm just gonna play the game to have fun.
And That is one of the nice things about Fire Emblem Heroes. You can fall into the same traps in Heroes as you can in other games, at least from my experience, where you're like, no, this is the path to viability. This is the path to the correct builds. I've seen them work. Other people have seen them work. I fought them 2,804 times in arena, so I know they work. That's what works. Between what you're doing and to pull in other people into the conversation, like the whole soloing community is, I find them to be fascinating creatures. I
remember the name of it, but there's this one guy who I know who I've watched quite a few of his stuff. He does like such and such grand hero battle, legendary hero battle with low tier units. I've seen him take on Legion with a Barst, and he uses Matthew and Mist quite a lot. And I find that person very entertaining because it's interesting to see the kind of stuff you can do with all these units that almost nobody uses.
Mm-hmm.
Like even Lubu, he's using like Lachesis and Sakura, and he's doing like solos and true solos with healers.
Yes,
which seems absurd, but I'm honestly impressed. Another thing that I really like about sort of branching out with sort of Heroes content and so is that it's allowed me to really learn the software and learn how to better edit. Like, early on, I didn't understand much about how to like move everything around, and then you've got stuff like I think one of the most effort I've put into one of my videos was effectively using Takumi, where I like took all like I took like why am I suddenly brain farting with what they're called? I wouldn't call it a music video, but it's like moves out of control, like PV, that's what it was.
Oh, okay.
And like I like edited around that sort of bit to do like the initial D-inspired scene, and like all that kind of stuff with like Katria and S and whatever, like all that stuff I was doing frame by frame by frame by frame to do all of that.
Oh my gosh.
It took me like almost an entire night just to do that one section. I'm really happy with how that came out. There was also a scene where Katria's in the car, and I wanted to make sure that her head wasn't sticking out above the car. So what I did is I took a screenshot of the image. I like cut out, like cropped out everything but like the roof, and then layered that over the actual car.
Oh wow!
Then that give it like
that's how you made that. Oh wow!
The illusion that she'd been into the car.
I'll have to like rewatch it now that I know that.
One of these days, I'd like to really go over like the sort of editing that I did for all sorts of videos. Like one of my more recent videos, like the Hello Celica thing. That one I made out all that scene in like Photoshop, just like threw together a scene and just sort of layered them out in the right format into Photoshop. Like the water would rise just right, and that the little line where she's sitting at the surface would rise just at the right point. And a lot of like the zooms and stuff, that was done after the fact, where I edited the base scene, and then stuff I knew that I wouldn't be able to edit well all at once, I took into a second thing, moved it around a bit, and then I rendered, and then that was the final video.
I look at stuff like that particular video, and I think like, wow, I bet you he did this all in like one tool, like in one take, and it probably took him like maybe 45 minutes because it looks like he, Ghost knows what he's doing. And then, hearing you explain it, it sounds like that took more than 45 minutes, and using multiple tools, it's eye-opening.
Videos that I make, I can't make all these videos in like one night. All these videos usually take like maybe like 2 or 3 usually, unless it's like something small and silly like that, like The Dark Within or whatever.
It takes some time, and even in my videos, I mean, they're just talking head videos. I mean, when it comes down to it, sure, I have analytics and stuff like that, but I show some gameplay and I stare at the camera and I talk. That's that's what I do. But even then, that still takes me a fistful of hours. And now it's I'm using multiple video editors just to do things, like to get certain effects out of things. I'm like, okay, this flows well here, but you know what? I need to have this image come in and stop and then do something else. And yeah, I've been using multiple pieces of software in my video editing, let alone making thumbnails, graphics for the channel, and then that's all creation. That's not even the maintenance of the channel of like, how do I want to set up my playlists? What kind of keywords am I targeting?
I don't actually have Lightroom or anything like that, so every effect that I do, every shaking effect that I do, that isn't me. Like what I'll do most often is take like keyframes, and for one frame I'll like move an object and then leave a frame, then the next frame after that I'll like move it around, and that's like with my effectively using Leo video, how his hands moved around so fast.
Yeah.
All those were just a random movement every 2 frames to make it appear like it was some sort of shaky movement.
Right. No, that's awesome. Yeah, my animations have been absolutely terrible. I'm definitely I can't meme anything to save my life. So, oh boy.
It all comes with practice. Like, I've been doing YouTube for like, what, 3 years? And sure, I didn't get popular until like a year or 2 ago at most, but like, I'm very familiar with the formula. I started work with an old, trying to look around to take a look at the old headset that I had, and it was like an old uncomfortable thing that I used back when I was editing with Windows Movie Maker.
No lie, once in a while, if I have a particular talking head piece that has like a lot of like ums and ahs or clears or whatever that I just need to take out, I'll still use Windows Movie Maker because it's a nice linear thing and it just lets me edit that super quick.
One of my biggest issues in terms of editing has always been audio. It has, like, one of my biggest audio problems came from like a video I did on like Maki, and I had to take like 2 or 3 retakes of that audio because it sounded horrifically like mangled and mechanical. Like, there's one part where I tried saying the word social and it just completely failed. And it sounded it didn't sound like clean. It just sounded like social, like just completely off the line with like from the rest of the audio, and it makes me 1,000 times happier that I have the snowball now.
Yeah, now getting a good mic, that has been like the best purchase I have made for content creation, period. It was actually the first big purchase that I had.
Always had an interest in like computers and all that kind of stuff. So one thing that I've been able to evolve is I don't always use Photoshop. I also use another program called GIMP, and
yeah,
something I've really seen through my videos is a complete evolution of like my icons. Like, my very first video that I ever made an icon that I ever spoke live into, that one I did a plain purple background, and a jack-o'-lantern and a stock marshmallow, and I think maybe a campfire or something like that. It was like terrible. And then like you look at some of the more normal stuff, like there's the one like Who's Your God Now. Like, that icon is probably like one of my favorite icons I've ever made, just because it just looks good. It like pops out. I think GIMP's like one of the best tools for getting into the sort of content creation, because for one, it's free, like, and 2, it's incredibly easy to use, like, once you know how to use it. One little last thing. One thing that I've really been able to do as, like, a result of all this is I've been able to make, like, a Discord chat to be able to connect to, like, viewers and other YouTubers such as you because I was able to make something I enjoyed and other people enjoyed it.
The relationships I've been building out of this have been amazing, too. I was really hesitant to start up a Discord server because I hopped into a few. I hopped into the Reddit Fire Emblem Heroes Discord server. I hopped into Strategists first, and those places just move so fast, and they're huge, and it was very intimidating. And I'm like, yeah, I can't do this. So I was cultivating some relationships with people in the comment sections of my videos, as much as you could anyway. No, I'm super happy that I'm in Discord.
I think it's been great being able to talk to you and have this sort of conversation and all.
It's been an absolute blast, Ghost. Thank you so much for suggesting doing this. I loved it. It was a pleasure.